So, what were your initial thoughts about ASMR before ever getting into it? Did you think it was weird, or were you pretty accepting of its existence?
I really turned my nose up on it, and I thought it was really weird. Like I would see it.
Oh.
It's like when it first came up. It's like, I mean, that's the thing. It's like
Mhm.
whenever the new thing comes up on the internet, everyone hates it. You know, everyone's like, it's like the
Mhm.
ASMR is like, oh, this is weird, and I didn't get it either. I didn't even give myself the chance to listen to it. I just kind of looked at it and I'm like, this looks freaky. This is scary.
Yeah.
Like especially like when you look at these fucking mics, girl. These like ear mics. I still to this day.
Actual
These
horror
mics
content.
are creepy. Yes, I do not like the look of these mics, but the sound they deliver.
But you gotta get real close to them too. You gotta get up like right up to them.
Yeah,
Ensure like it's somebody's actual ears.
Yeah, when I first bought this fucking 3DO, I was really scared of looking at just because of how creeped out I was by it. I'm like, I don't really. But now I just go nuts. I don't give a fuck.
No,
So,
I get that.
So you know, so yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a tolerance, but I do still look at it today. I'm like, man, this shit looked fucking weird. But
How did you get into VORE originally? What is your story?
everyone asks me this, and like really it kind of comes down to is like you know, it's like, how did I get into VORE? It's more so how VORE got into me. Like, 'cause that was sort of the question I would ask myself.
How did it climb inside of me?
Because it was kind of a matter of like, I don't know, like even in my earliest years growing up, like I would see scenes like, you know, in the first Shrek movie with the dragon eating fucking Farquaad. I'd look at that shit and I'm like, I really love this scene for some reason. I need to see it again. Like,
The signs were there.
type of shit, you know? And I didn't know why, but I really liked it. And I'm like, you know, it was just a thing even in my earliest years. And so like, and this is kind of a common story for a lot of people who like VORE, or have an interest in VORE. There's like some sort of like, you know, moment that they can recall even in their earliest years of like they would be exposed to it either, you know, as like a storytelling element, you know, because I mean, you know, VORE is used as a storytelling element, or you know, like in folklore and folk stories, you know, and fucking nursery rhymes and bullshit, you know.
See, I hear
Red
that
Riding Hood and all that shit, you know.
a lot of these interests I hear actually come from like a childhood thing, right? So a lot of like, you know, whether it be a sexual experience, you know, like it turns into like a sexual interest, right? But then when you're younger, you know, there's just something in your childhood that kind of just like sparks that for you, I guess. So then when you're in your adult years, you know, you recall that and you're like, huh.
Yeah.
It makes me feel some type of way, actually.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting. It's really interesting.
It's strange. So it's like, so it's like for me, it's like how I got into it. It's more like how it got into me because I felt like it was just kind of always there. Like it was always like, yeah, this kind of always like just really interested me, you know? And like what's the term? Like, and if you're talking about like my first discovery of VORE, I would say early DeviantArt.
Early
DeviantArt, and then that led me down the pipeline of finding out about furries, going into Fur Affinity, and then I basically just like looked at like Fur Affinity, you know, E621, and then like
you started searching for it. You started seeking it.
But I didn't know. Yeah, I started seeking it because it's like I'm like, wait, there's a word that describes this thing, and other people like it. It's not just me being weird. It's like a thing. You know? So like I was really enthusiastic about it, and I like really, you know, there's a lot of artists. There's a lot of VORE artists that I was really into back then that are still making art now, and I still follow them.
Wow, wait, how many years has it been then since then?
Yeah, 15 years.
15 years and they're still making that? Wow.
Yeah, you know, there's
That's really cool.
It was like the two ones I followed was like Shy Guy 9, and there was another furry VORE artist I followed back then that was, they don't make art as much, but they do occasionally. It was they were called like Reina Ayama. They're a little lesser known, but they had this like fox character that would VORE people, and I'm like, oh god.
That's really cool though. I don't know these artists, but look, I was in a different place on the internet when I was younger, right? And like I don't know, I internet sleuthed around like anime boards and like, okay, this is embarrassing, all right? I'm gonna tell you something, like a really personal fact about myself here, Ember, since we're spilling our hearts here.
Shoot.
I really liked Warrior Cats. I was in the Warrior Cats roleplay forums as a kid.
Oh.
That's where I was. I wasn't out here seeking good art. I was out here seeking warrior cat role plays.
Yeah. You know, but yeah, it's like I was into this and I was so ashamed of it that like basically anytime I browsed it, I would this is gonna be a throwback for a lot of y'all. I would browse on my PlayStation Portable. Using the PlayStation Portable internet browser.
PSP, not the PSP.
So bad, no one must find out. Yeah, I would fucking be typing all that shit in there, like, oh god.
Private browser.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's crazy though. Wow, the PSP.
VORE is a kink where people eat each other, swallowed whole or partially. It's kind of like this.
So who did you just eat? Anybody in mind?
I don't know. Lythro's in chat. Lythro, you got me. I don't fucking know.
PlayStation Portable.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Wait, I love that. That's perfect.
Those were the struggle days. Those were the old times, you know, where I would go to school fucking carrying a PSP and an iPod Touch in my pocket and my dumb phone in the other pocket. I had 3 devices I'd be carrying with me at all times.
That's impressive. Okay, admittedly, I never got to have, I never got to have consoles much as a kid. I had a Wii. I don't think I could search anything up on the Wii, though. Everything I searched up was on the family laptop. Or PC.
Yeah.
I could not hide anything.
Yeah, no, I was very big on hiding shit. Because I was like, nah, I'm taking the shit to the grave.
I think the craziest one.
I'm like, how do I explain VORE to my parents? And that's a question I still ask myself today.
Did you ever tell your parents, or?
No.
No.
I'm doing this shit part-time now, so I'm like,
some things they don't need to know.
Some things they don't need to know. They just know that, my day job's doing pretty well for me. So,
You do VORE content.
Yeah.
What do you want people to know about what you do? Any misunderstandings that you want to clear up about what you do?
What do I want people to know about? I mean, I guess the thing is, it's like, I'm trying to think if there's any misconceptions, but it's like, I mean, it's a fucking kink. Like, like any other kink, it's a fucking kink. You know, people are in it for a reason. You know, they're shit for a purpose. But it's like, I think like the only misunderstanding I really hear about VORE is like, a lot of people think that like VORE is cannibalism, like that as a fetish, like they describe it as cannibalism, and it's like in a way technically but it's not like, oh, I'm like looking at like a fucking like zombie eating a person and I like think that's hot.
You're like, it's really different. It's not the same thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically, in a technical term, that's called hard VORE. Hard VORE is like when you're like, it's kind of the more cannibalistic side of it, but it's not really my thing. I think hard VORE would be really cool. Like someone like people would ask me if I'm into hard VORE, and I would say like, yo, like I'm not into it as a kink, but it would kind of look badass, and like if someone, because someone like would ask me like fan art questions, like it would look badass if someone did fan art of Ember like fucking like ripping apart something or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And like that would look badass. I think it looks badass, but it's not like ooh, Like
I'm into that.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's more like badass. Yeah. But
so
then
then
that's like a common misconception. They look at it and they think cannibalism, but there's so many genres, so many subgenres, and like really like the cannibalism, or what you call hard VORE, is like a very small sub niche of a broad ass fucking fetish. So
yeah, no, I get that. Then you said this could be a sexual thing. Is it ever a non-sexual experience for people?
So, so like some people say it's not. I mean, I think to an extent it always will be. But
yeah,
I see VORE. I mean, obviously, like there is a aspect. There's something like I was requested. That was requested of me to do for audios. And that was cozy, like comfy VORE, cozy VORE, safe VORE. And like it's basically this concept of like, like a roleplay audio of like me voring someone, and it's like it's like a more less like of a brutal thing and more of like this is like to be cozy, inside someone or wherever the hell.
Yeah.
And I did like 2 or 3 of those, and you know, I'm recording it. I'm like, you know, I kind of fuck with this. You know,
Like, I kind of like this thing.
Yeah, it's like this is kind of like this is kind of cozy. It's like it's not something I love, but like, you know, it's, I see what this is about. You know, I'm like, this is kind of interesting. I wouldn't necessarily call it non-sexual. I mean, it's obviously, you know, there's obviously there's a kink in the background, there's the elephant in the room, right? But I mean, it's you know, kind of a more, it's kind of a, it's a less sexually charged experience for sure. Less erotically charged. 100%. There are less erotic ways of it being experienced 100%. What I will say, going into the topic, one observation I made about the VORE community that's really interesting to me, and this is how I learned about the cozy VORE and safe VORE thing. There's a huge demand for that on YouTube, by the way.
Gotcha.
What I noticed about it is that there's a lot of people in the VORE community, like a pretty big number of people in the VORE community who identify as asexual. Like, I would say at least 20-30% of people I talk to in the VORE community are
That's pretty significant, though.
Yeah.
Huh.
There's like a big...
So that has to confirm then, right? That is not just a sexual thing. It has to be, like, you know, non-sexual for some people then.
I think from what I described it, because I know in my last interview I was talking about this too, is that asexuality asexual people can experience kink in a way that could be construed that way, but it's like yes and no, but like sort of deal. But I mean, I think the appeal for ace people with VORE is that it's like a way to experience intimacy and eroticism in a way that doesn't
without needing to get too personal.
Like, I think without like getting into like genitalia or any crap like that.
Yeah, no, I get that. I think that's really cool though. I think it's a good way to explore your sexuality, especially if you're not comfortable, you know, with the like, you know, parts of it, right? Yeah. So, what was your favorite video to make so far, and how did you go about making that?
I gotta say, fucking when it comes to videos, there was a video I made, like two months ago. It was an ASMR video it was an SCP ASMR video with Mallow.
I see.
Like, dog girl one, yes. And it was.
Wow, that one really popped off too. Oh my god.
Yeah, that one was good. It was like just me and one of my artist friends, Red Knot artist. She did an amazing job. Basically, like her and I like have really good creative synergy as well. And basically, I kind of gave her a list of ideas. I was like, well, what kind of video would be good for us to make? And it basically turned out that like, oh, what if we do an SCP audio? And I'm like, let's go. So she started on the art. We started working on a script together. She did a whole bit with her voice. And we went back and forth, and we just made this like amazing horror-themed ASMR video.
Oh my god.
You know, it even has visual effects. It has like these distortion effects that happen throughout the video. And the art is amazing. The art came out
does look
so
super
good.
Cool. Oh my god.
And it was a knockout of the park. It was a fucking home run. And
I'm so glad to hear you had so much fun with that.
It was so fun to do, to just kind of play like the Mallow voice. ASMR. You know, like just doing like, oh my god, it was so much fun.
Was there some aspect of it that was very difficult as well to do?
Not really.
Yeah? Like pretty smooth sailing?
Yeah, it was pretty smooth sailing, at least like voice-wise. I mean, so here's the thing, like, this is a weird quirk. So with me, like, I have, my voice is like, so I was telling this in my last interview, I actually had like, I did like take some professional vocal lessons, and I went to get a tune-up, just kind of like check up on my voice, see how my voice is and everything.
Yeah.
This was when I was a couple of months into doing ASMR. It was like probably like April or May. And And you know that what they have you do is they have you do these series of vocal tests, and they'll record it and they'll run it through like a program to see like, okay, this is your lowest range, this is your highest range, this is your median.
That's a
and this
thing?
is like more or less, yeah, that's the thing. They do these measurements, and basically what it does is that it calculates, you know, how wide of a range your voice is, how wide your range is, how flexible your voice is, how adaptable it is. And
I've never heard of that.
I did this test. Yeah, I did this test, and they and it's like, you know, it's like you do the fucking usual shit, like just doing like the range, like type of bullshit. And so like I'm doing that shit, and they run it through their program, whatever the fuck, and they come back to me and they're like Ember, they're like, are you sure that you're not doing anything professional with your voice on the side? And I'm like, I'm not gonna tell them I VORE people, right? So I'm like,
they can't know I VORE people.
I'm not gonna explain ASMR to them either, because they're kind of normies. So I'm like, why? I'm like, why are you asking? I'm like, I just practice a lot. They're like, why? And they just tell me to like, Ember, they're like, your vocal range is that of a professional singer's. So I guess me doing ASMR made my voice like a lot better.
Hey, singers out there, do ASMR, get your vocal range.
So I guess like, because I would put on voices for monsters, like I would do like I did a Deathclaw ASMR, and it's like Deathclaw audio, you know, stuff like that, you know.
That's so cool though.
I would play with voices, I'd play with characters and stuff like that. So like, yeah, they look this, they're like, you got the range, you got the vocal range of like a professional singer. Like, this is like some of the most impressive stuff we've seen here. And I'm like, I don't know what to say.
So how much time usually gets put into making each ASMR video?
I haven't really kept track. I'm trying to reduce the amount of time it takes to work, just because, you know, I got my kaiju day job that I gotta do inside of this. It varies. It depends on how long the script is, what I intend to do with the video, what the creative direction is, whether or not I'm getting art done, you know, because then it's like, you know, okay, I gotta work with an artist, figure out the art. Sometimes I have to like fucking what's it called? Like just like, it really depends. But I would say in total, if you don't count the times I get distracted, and I think it's safe to say between, on the low end, 4 hours, high end 12 hours. It's very broad because it depends. Because like there's a video I did recently that was like a trigger only video.
Yeah.
It took me maybe 3 hours to make in total.
The triggers like, only are usually the slower ones, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones that they take less time, rather. Sorry.
Yeah. It's like I just do the trigger. You know, I say some sweet nothings or some bullshit, and then like I put it up and I make a visual with it, and then you know, and I do listen through it a couple times just to make sure there's no like bullshittery in the fucking audio. And then it's like all right, if this is good, I ship it, you know, and then I tweak around with the YouTube bullshit, and it's up. So
yeah. Seems pretty straightforward then for like the triggers, but for like the longer things like scripted stuff, that usually takes a lot longer, and a lot of just making sure that everything sounds just right, and lots of sound design in there too. On that note, on the topic of triggers and whatnot, right? Do you have any favorite triggers that you do, and what are your favorites to listen to as well? Do they differ, and if so, why do you think that is?
So, my favorite to do and my favorite to listen to. For me, I'll start with the favorite to listen to, because that's easy. The favorite to listen to is like cupping. So like, where, like
cupping is
like,
nice.
Cupping. Yeah, it's
the
like,
little sounds.
Fucking, like, it feels like
so nice.
Ears are getting massaged. Yeah,
it does. It's like you're getting nice warm head pats. Your ears are getting rubbed.
The ear
loving.
Cleaning. The ear cleaning is really good. Really love that. Just anything with like ear cleaning. And I do like listening to ear licking. It's very like Kyo ASMR does really good ear licking, and it's like a very just
ear licking like, guilty pleasure. Pleasure.
It's very soothing. It's very relaxing, like legitimately, you know. So it's like, so it's mainly those three. And for what I like to do, honestly, it is kind of the very improv stuff.
Yeah.
It kind of ties into my role play my fun of roleplay is like, you know, like the degradation, the praise, and the VORE, like all that's probably the ones I had the most fun doing, because it's like, okay, I get to kind of like play a skit, you know, on stream and like have fun with it, you know,
Yeah.
and, like make something up on the fly. And sometimes if I do really well, that's a clippable moment for Twitter, and Twitter likes it, and some bullshit. So it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
Hey, clip that, clip that, clip that, clip that.
Yeah.
If someone was looking to get into ASMR, what advice would you give them?
What advice? I mean, really, here's the thing. I would say just do it, you know? I mean, you just have to do it. It doesn't matter what you got. It doesn't matter what equipment you got. Just fucking hit that record button.
Yeah.
Don't get into analysis paralysis. Don't be a bitch. Hit record. And just see what you can do. It's like, what do you got to lose? You put it
literally
out
nothing.
there.
You're like, just do it, try it.
Just try it. Why not? Why not? Just do it. It's fun.
Just do it.
You know?
Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's my biggest advice. Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't like, because I got into it, I didn't know shit, you know. And it's
you're like, I just want to try this thing and see how I like it.
yeah, and I somehow stumbled here. So, yeah.
Is there any beginner equipment that you would recommend for newbies as well that you're just like?
Beginner equipment. Fuck. I mean, like, I kind of went like I had a HyperX Quadcast. That one, that mic I didn't have too great an experience recording ASMR with, but what we'll say is, I mean, any Blue Yeti is really good to start on. Have a really good stereo setting. You know, it picks up everything in the room pretty well, so it allows you to kind of, it has that sensitivity that can create some pretty comfortable noises. And a lot of really big ASMR creators use Blue Yetis. So, you know, it's like, they're a dime a dozen, you know, it's like you can get one, you could probably find a really good deal, at a really good deal, $50, one, you know, like $50 to like 120, depending on the condition, the use, or whatever the fuck, you know. I don't know, it's like, that's like my primary one, really, is just to start, you know, and just kind of go from there. I can't really justify any other bigger, like, investment more than that, you know, because with ASMR, you know, there's a lot of people who pick it up and then they drop it because it's just not their thing, you know. Like, not everyone has the same experience I do when they start ASMR and it becomes their part-time career, right? So it's so you want to start small, you know. You don't have to get all the big things. You know? You
don't gotta dump it in, you don't gotta go get a loan and then dump all that money into making ASMR.
Just get some small things, see how you like it. You know, just give it a shot.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you once again. I really do appreciate you taking time to meet with me, and I'm sorry that took me so long to get around to our interview, but I had a lot of fun and I learned a lot, and I'm sure that everyone else here did too.
Yeah, this is great.
Go follow Ember, guys. Go show some love. If you happen to stop by my ASMR streams and you like my ASMR, you'll definitely love Ember for sure. So go show some love to Ember, to any ASMR lovers in chat. Please go show some love, all right?